Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Aging Gamer. So, Marvel Comics. In terms of video games lately, we've been having quite a few wins. Just last year, we saw the re-release of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. All the best Marvel Capcom games in one awesome little package. We also saw the release of Marvel Rivals, which I personally am not into, but it looks like a really cool game. Visually it looks awesome and a lot of people like it, so it's still a win. We also got news that a badass looking Marvel fighting game is coming out next year. Look at that, that looks crazy. Though one of the games I'm personally most excited for is the upcoming Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Cosmic Invasion is a brand new beat-em-up developed by Tribute Games, the same people that made that awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge title. Cosmic Revenge will feature up to 15 Marvel characters as they travel to different worlds on a mission to defeat the evil Annihilus. It looks really badass, and it looks like a fun throwback to older Marvel beat-em-up games like X-Men the arcade game and Captain America and the Avengers. So you know what? Let's play one of those. Let's play a Marvel beat-em-up. I already did X-Men the arcade game not too long ago, so I guess the other title's up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain America and
the Avengers!
So the version we're playing today is the Sega Genesis version. While the arcade version is the supreme version of the game, where we got 4-player co-op and all that, arcade games just don't offer that same challenge when you can just keep popping coins in to win. So me being the Sega Genesis fan that I am, and honestly, you know, I grew up playing the Sega Genesis version, so it's the one I'm most nostalgic for, that's the one we're going to play today. There's also a Super Nintendo version of the game, but it's very different. While the Genesis version is a pretty good port of the arcade, the SNES version is just so sloppy in comparison. The gameplay feels off, you get less continues, and the enemies take more hits to kill. The graphics are pretty different too. Not bad, just different. The Super Nintendo version does include the animated cutscenes from the arcade version, while the Genesis is just boring text, but the Sega version is just better in every other way. That's just my opinion though. There's also a NES and Game Boy version of the same name, but they're like completely different titles. So yeah, we're gonna go with the Sega Genesis version. Now let's get to it. Let's go! So when we start the game, we select our Avenger. We got the Super Soldier Captain America, the Invincible Iron Man, the Synthezoid Vision, and the Sharpshooter Hawkeye. Quite a good selection to pick from, I guess. Not sure what form of the Avengers this team is based on, but it feels kind of weird that Thor wasn't included here. I can understand not having other characters like She-Hulk, Quasar, Tigra, Cersei, Scarlet Witch, or Black Widow, all a part of the Avengers team in the comics around this time of this game's release, but Thor? He was a founding member. Well, anyway, we select our character and we start. We find out that the Red Skull, using a mind control device, has assembled a team of supervillains and plans on taking over the world. Well, not if the Avengers can stop him. So we're dropped into the city and we see people running away in terror. From what though? Robot-looking jabronis, that's what. Let's kick their ass. And talk about the controls as well. Pressing A will allow you to jump, while B and C are used for attacking. Double tap a D-pad direction to dash in that direction. Hold down the attack button to shield against projectile attacks. With Captain America, he uses his shield. Makes sense. Vision gets all transparent. Pretty cool. And Iron Man uses some kind of energy barrier. All of these make sense for their characters. Hawkeye, though, just kind of droops his bow down like a wobbly coat hanger. And what's even more ridiculous is that it works. Jump in the air and you can do a diving kick or even shoot down a laser, depending on who you pick. And lastly, press jump and attack at the same time for a projectile special attack. Iron Man and Vision will shoot a laser, while Hawkeye will shoot an arrow. Captain America will of course throw his shield. However, the difference with Captain America is that his shield does damage going towards the enemy and also when it boomerangs back to him. Not only is this great for dealing out a bunch of damage, it comes in handy when fighting off hordes of enemies. To me, this easily makes Captain America the best character in the game. Yeah, Captain America! Captain America! USA! 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 So very quickly we run into our first mini-boss fight. We'll have to fight off both the Claw and the Living Laser. Do not disturb us. Why should it go so well? What? Despite having to fight both of these guys at the same time, they're chumps. Let's take care of them. Afterwards, we get a little cameo from fellow Avenger Quicksilver, and he'll give you some more health. Nice! We'll fight off some more robot jobbers, and then we'll eventually make our way to the boss of the stage, Whirlwind.
You can't escape! You will be the one escaping!
Why should it go so well? You will be the one escaping? What are these lame second grader comebacks coming from? This game's got some funky dialogue. So Whirlwind will attack you by kicking and occasionally tornado dashing into you. When weak enough, he'll start spinning around the stage like the Tasmanian Devil. Keep your distance and use some projectile attacks to take this fool down. We now enter Scene 2, Target Town. Not sure if the town is a target or if that's just the name of the city, but let's go! We're on some rooftops with more of these mechanical crumb bombs. Then we'll take flight. If you're Iron Man or Vision, you'll just start flying. If you're Captain America or Hawkeye though, you'll get a cameo from fellow Avenger Wonder Man. He'll give us a little flying glider thing and we take off, fighting more villains. Again, Captain America is really handy here because he can just take out these hordes of enemies faster than anyone else. We'll eventually come across this W icon that'll give us another Avengers cameo in the form of the Wasp. She'll protect you for a bit before disappearing. At the end of this flying section, we'll find a Sentinel. Sweet! An X-Men reference. Oh wait, that's not a Sentinel, that's Mammoth Robot. Nah, that's a Sentinel. Let's destroy him! We'll drop and we'll come across the boss of this stage, Grim Reaper.
You came here to die.
I don't think so, buddy. So, Reaper will charge at you. It's best to jump around to avoid him and special attack him when you can. He usually gets a few good shots at me, but we can defeat him. Time for Scene 3, Challenge from the Bottom of the Sea. We'll fight some more losers until we reach our next mini-boss, the Wizard. He likes to jump and attack, but so do I. Hey, it's Namor, the Submariner. He tells us to go into the sea. Sure, why not? Now we're in another flying section, but underwater. So I guess it's a swimming section, really, but it's definitely a lot like the flying section. Anyway, we'll fight off some chumps until we reach this giant robot octopus called Mecha-Techo, right? That's how you pronounce this? Mecha-Techo? It's a silly name, but it's a silly boss. We'll go through more guards until we reach this level's boss, the Mandarin.
See my power!
What was that? Play that again!
See my power!
This game's dialogue and voice acting is just ridiculous! Mandarin can be pretty tricky, but do your best to dodge his clone attacks and strike him with some good old plam, blam, and smash. Scene 4, the giant laser cannon. Next up, the moon! This is Red Skull's base and he has some super laser that he's going to use to destroy the world. Let's get in there and mess things up. After some fights with some grunts, we'll reach this stage's mini-boss, the Juggernaut. He's... What the hell was that? I played a lot of X-Men games and not one time have I seen Juggernaut just roll into the stage like a certain blue hedgehog. And, what's with his face? Or lack thereof, I guess. 2 X-Men characters in this game and they find a way to mess it up. Anyway, Juggernaut can be a real tough boss. I like to avoid his attacks, jump up, and place a well-timed downward kick. Fight on and we'll come across this stage's real boss, Ultron.
What is the laser? Ask the police.
I'm sorry, I hate to keep bringing it up, it'll be the last time I swear, but this game's dialogue, it doesn't make any sense! There's no writing team listed in the credits, so instead I'm gonna go ahead and blame the sound team since they're the ones responsible for those same sounding voices. It's all your fault! S. Shogo, Tom Sato, and Yamo S. It's your guys' fault! But you kinda made the game charming in its own way because of it, so thank you. So what's the strategy to fighting Ultron? Kinda the same as everyone else. Keep your distance and attack when there's an opening. Now we're on the final stage, Scene 5, the end of Red Skull.
No!
We start off with another flying section with a bunch more of those generic-looking robot bad guys. We'll then find the giant laser cannon. We drop down and we easily destroy it. Hey, mission accomplished, let's go home. But no, let's fight our way through until we see our next mini-boss, Crossbones.
You can't go through!
He'll throw knives and... What are those? Exploding turtle shells? Whatever, let's kick his ass!
You can't escape!
Alright, it's time for our final fight with Red Skull. He'll attack by jumping across the screen and doing drop kicks. Keep your distance and hit him with some special attacks until he's defeated.
Yes, it's another clap. You stupid men! Ha ha ha! We'll teach you the meaning of justice!
Oh shit, this is Mecha Red Skull. He'll jump on you and even shoot some little tornadoes. If you position yourself right, you can get a lot of hits in. You'll get hurt too, of course, but try to drain his health bar quicker than he drains yours. Yeah! We escaped the exploding moon base, but so does Red Skull. Well, so much for a happy ending. So that's Captain America and the Avengers. So, how does it all hold up? For a quick answer, it's fun, but can be pretty difficult at times. For a long answer, As far as 16-bit beat-em-ups go, this one is pretty dang good. When I played this back in the day, I could only really get to around stage 4 and would typically get my game over around the Juggernaut fight. I couldn't beat him, but as a more seasoned gamer, I can beat it. On easy mode, which is still pretty tough. In this game, you'll constantly go through hordes of enemies that'll wear you down and bosses with cheap hits that'll finish you off. The more you play though, the more you'll learn enemy and boss patterns, which makes things easier, but doesn't make the game necessarily easy, if that makes sense. Outside of this title's gameplay, I really like everything else about it. The music is awesome, the dialogue and voices are cheesy yet amusing, and it doesn't look too far off from the arcade version. Captain America and the Avengers might not be as great as other 16-bit beat-em-ups like Turtles in Time or Streets of Rage, but it's worth checking into, especially if you're a Marvel fan like myself. But those are just my opinions. What do you guys think? What do you think of Captain America and the Avengers? Which version is your favorite to play? Who's your favorite character to play as? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Take care!